You miss 100% of your shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky said that, and I'm saying this. Welcome to High and Low. Good day and good night. Welcome to the High and Low NBA show. This is episode number 100 and Crowder, aka episode number 199. Milwaukee Bucks forward Jay Crowder has been wearing the number 99 since his days as a Celtic, a Boston Celtic. In my mind, Jay Crowder will always be remembered for one particular incident during Game 4 of the 2015 NBA playoffs, where the Celtics were matched up against the Cavs, and Crowder and J.R. Smith, they got tangled up positioning or jockeying for position. You know, they're trying to grab a rebound, or at least they're looking like they want to grab a rebound. They're getting tangled up, and Crowder's a bigger dude. You know, he's burly, so he's moving JR, and JR's getting shoved, and JR's not liking it. So JR retaliates with a vicious spinning back fist that just connects directly with Crowder's chin. Crowder goes down like a sack of LeBrons, and he tears his ACL.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Yeah, because of how his knee buckled underneath him. Like, he basically just put all that weight on his leg, which was like folded underneath his body. Man. Just ugly play. And J.R. Smith, of course, caught the flagrant 2 for that. Made no difference in the series as the Cavs would go on to sweep Boston. But it was an ugly moment. And I just remember hating J.R. Smith for that. I'm like, that's one of the dirtiest things I've ever seen a player do, especially when he refused to apologize for it afterwards. He told the media, if you play chippy things are going to happen. It's crazy. Like, I don't know. Classic heel move by J.R. Smith. And it seems like the feud's been going on ever since then between Jay Crowder and J.R. Smith. It's never ended, because I think a couple years back, JR was subtweeting Jay Crowder about owing him money.
Maybe Jay Crowder popped into his college room, maybe out on the golf course.
Possibly.
Chipping.
J.R. Smith needs to just enjoy retirement, you know, just sail off into the sunset. Anyway, welcome to the show. My name is Ike Amechi. I'm here with Sir Mitch of House Orsatti, or you can call him Mitch Orsatti, the guest, Stephen Leslie, and of course, Hugo the Sheik. And around here, we live by principle governed by high and low lives of the world, which means we talk about basketball, especially and specifically the NBA, and we talk about it at any time, anywhere, north, south, east, west, high and low. This week, we have a full table of opinions, and I'm glad, because we'll need all of those opinions. We have many questions to answer, several of them being of the burnt or burning variety. I'll take some time to ask a string of questions from around the league, some spicy, some intriguing, questions related to the Denver Nuggets, questions about the greatest of all time, questions about the MVP race. Really interesting stuff. And then, if that wasn't enough, we have a listener question that will force us to dive into the great generational debate. Gen Z is coming for Gen X and Millennial next and questioning the whole GOAT conversation. Maybe they would prefer the concept of a GOAT, the greatest of your time. Who knows? I don't know. Gen, I can't figure out.
GOAT sounds terrible.
GOAT.
Yeah, no, pass.
Sounds like a medical problem.
It's a goiter, yeah.
Anyway, stay tuned for that. Before we lock in, let me just check in with these guys.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
It's been a while, gentlemen. Do you guys know about Mariah Rose on TikTok?
No.
She always talks about the NBA. She went off. Usually when she talks about the NBA, she comes across as being balanced in her tone, but on this one particular post that I caught the other day, she was upset and responding to another TikToker called Marthrines, and he claimed that he had no idea who Caitlin Clark was. And this upset Mariah Rose. I think he was saying that he could beat Caitlin Clark himself. Yeah. Uh, so Mariah Rose went off in a post and basically said that Caitlin Clark could dog walk half the Detroit Pistons.
I love the term dog walk. That's one of my favorites.
Love it. That she could dog walk half the Pistons. And
Okay,
honestly,
but she can't.
well, I mean, hey, this is what Mariah Rose was saying. And she was convinced that this was a fact. And honestly, I mean, the Pistons have been playing in a way that honestly you deserve that. You deserve to be on the receiving end of such a comment. But hey, as Steven is saying, she can't. She most likely cannot dog walk anyone on the Pistons.
Like, that's a worse comment than what the original guy said.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're throwing strays at these guys for no reason. What are they doing? They're trying to win games. They have nothing to do with this. Like, come on.
Are they trying to win games?
They are. Honestly, Mitch, come on. I've seen some of the
Williams?
games. These guys are trying, bro. And they're coming close. Sometimes they're getting screwed by the refs. They're complaining to the NBA. They're getting fined.
Oh, boy.
But these guys are trying.
I didn't have it on my bingo card that you were a Detroit Pistons.
I am not,
fan.
but
Caping for the Pistons?
let's
Since
not
when?
let's not do that. Act like
Screwed
these
by
guys
the
are trying.
refs?
They
Bro,
have
they're
been.
like 7-50 or something.
I'm not
That's
saying
screwed
every
by the
game, but
refs.
there was a couple games where they were screwed by the refs
Listen,
at the end of the
man,
game.
you can't have 10 wins and say you're trying. That's all I can say.
I don't put a lot of the blame on the players. I put a lot of the blame on Monty Williams. That dude has done an abysmal job.
You know what Detroit should do? They should get more power forwards.
See, now y'all.
Now you're making a mockery of the conversation. This does tell me one thing, that Mariah Rose, her comment was so ridiculous that Steven came to the defense of the Detroit Pistons. So, so that tells me everything I need to know about what we think about Mariah Rose's comment. And honestly, Mariah Rose, she's actually a very insightful individual, and I enjoy watching and hearing her comments and her opinions on the NBA. But this particular one, I felt like she took it a little too far. Hey, Steven, Hugo, Mitch, I appreciate your time this week. Thank you for joining me. And listeners of the show, high and low lives of the world, thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great week. We're here for another week, another episode, because if there's more NBA, then of course there's more high and low. This week in NBA history, Kobe set Portland ablaze. On March 16, 2007, Kobe Bryant put on a scoring clinic. Kobe and his Lakers were matched up against the Portland Trailblazers squad led by the likes of Brandon Roy and Zach Randolph. It was almost as if Kobe had heard the whispers about this young burgeoning superstar guard in the Pacific Northwest and needed to calm that noise. Because on this night, Kobe unleashed an offensive onslaught, dropping an incredible 65 points in a 116-111 overtime win. It was a standout performance, with Kobe accounting for over half of his team's points in a much-needed victory. The Lakers were fighting for a playoff spot at that point. Throughout the game, Kobe did his best Tim Hardaway impression. I got skills. I hope you guys remember that commercial. He shot 23 of 39 from the field, including 8 of 12 from beyond the arc and sinking 11 of 12 free throws. He also chipped in 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. And by the way, Ime Udoka played for the Blazers at that point. He scored 19 points in that game on the Blazers side. But back to Kobe. His 65-point outburst, it was the second highest scoring game of his illustrious career, surpassed only by his legendary 81-point game against the Toronto Raptors the previous season, which some believe is the real single-game scoring record. Some people believe that.
The highest televised.
Highest televised. Some people think that Will Chamberlain's game didn't even end.
What were you saying earlier about Gen Z coming for Gen X? Is that what we're doing right now?
Kind of. Anyway, you gotta love NBA TikTok. Following his incredible performance against the Blazers, Kobe went on a mission and embarked on a historic scoring streak, dropping at least 50 points in 4 straight games, including 2 60-point games, the other against Memphis 6 days later. The scoring surge solidified his place among the NBA's all-time greats, joining Wilt Chamberlain as the only other player with such an impressive streak. Now, with all that said, you'd think that Kobe finished the season averaging 35 a game, maybe take home the scoring title. Nope. Finished the season with a 28.3 point per game average, which was good enough for second behind LeBron James. How? Well, the Lakers were mediocre. Kobe's stat lines that season, they tell a story of a guy just couldn't make sense of the situation he was in. He was up and down just like the Lakers were. Yes, they had Lamar Odom, and they had a 19-year-old Andrew Bynum, but they had Smush Parker. They had Kwame Brown. They had Brian Cook. Jordan Farmar was their Derek Fisher. Kobe was frustrated and felt misled. He wasn't trying to wait for Andrew Bynum to mature. He wanted to win. He wanted Jason Kidd, who Mitch Kupchak had passed on just before the trade deadline. So after the Lakers got cooked by the Suns in 5 games in the first round of the playoffs, Kobe asked for a trade. Never happened, but it did spark a series of events that would lead to Pau Gasol coming to the land of the purple and gold, and the rest is history, NBA history. And that was a little something for the NBA history nerds. Anyway, things are certainly happening in the NBA today, so, of course you guys have questions and we have answers, so let's talk about it.
Let's talk about something important.
This question is from Cam in Henderson, Nevada.
Caller, what's your question?
Lately, there has been too many posts swirling around questioning Michael Jordan's greatness. Some people are watching old games from the 80s and 90s and declaring the game back then to be inferior, and also declaring Michael Jordan to be overrated. This is all based on grainy, poorly edited videos on YouTube. Legends like Bill Russell, Oscar Robertson, and Wilt Chamberlain have been bumped down over time as new generations of fans adopt the sport. Could the same thing happen to Jordan? Is it already happening? Great question. Actually, I know exactly who Cam is referring to, and I won't shout them out because I can't promote that ignorance.
Is it a TikTok video, this white guy?
It is.
Yeah, I saw that same thing, and honestly, I saw it and I the meme where the guy's ripping his headphones off?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that. Like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, cherry picking down moments to somehow state that the player who is considered the greatest of all time isn't, because what, 5 to 10 plays you show in a 1-minute TikTok video?
Crazy.
Sad. It's sad, but to Cam's point, it's a valid question. Is it happening to Jordan? Will it? Probably, right? Like,
yeah,
it'll probably happen to Jordan. It'll probably happen to LeBron. It'll probably happen to Wemby. On and on and on and on. So I just wanted to say thank you to Cam for this super depressing question. Really great. Did you what my Wemby? You don't think he's going to go down as one of the greats?
Bro, you're naming some elite NBA players, and then you just dropped in Wemby. It just threw me off. I'm sorry. I just, jeez.
100%, man. He's going to be up there.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't snap in two, he's going to be up there.
I don't know. I heard the same thing about Ben Simmons and that other Australian guy, but whatever.
Whoa.
The other Australian guy? Who?
Yeah.
Which other Australian guy?
No, not Bogut.
Dante Exum?
Yeah, Exum. Before he
Come
came
on
in.
now. Dante Exum and Ben Simmons are not 7'4" with an 8'2" wingspan.
So he's tall. Oh, okay.
Wemby's like Wemby's probably in the top 15 already.
Nice.
He's probably already a top 15 or 20 player his rookie season.
That's a lie.
What?
That's a lie.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, easy answer to this question is no. But for me, it's good to see lowlights more often than not, because I've always heard Michael Jordan with 6 rings, right? And then you see it. So now that you said it's a TikTok user. I guess he's just bored and he's doing this stuff for content and it's working. But it's good to see both sides of the game. Like, not everyone is perfect. So let's see the misses, the what do you call it? Cherry picking, lack of defense, all that stuff. So
But he's doing it. He's doing it to prop up other players who he considers better.
Yeah, which is fine. But in the grand scheme of things, is it going to change anything or anyone's opinion? I don't think so. It's
Maybe.
embedded in our brains that Jordan is so much better than who's the player he's trying to pop up.
Oh, nobody in particular, but
LeBron.
it's LeBron for sure.
But okay, so let's say it wasn't LeBron, like it was a Kawhi or Paul George. You're not going to believe that.
Nobody needs to prop up Paul George.
No, but that's what I mean.
Well, I don't know why that's happening.
No, so if it's a LeBron versus MJ thing, that's always a thing. Someone's going to create videos of LeBron just flopping and missing stuff and passing all the time in a crunch, right? So it's like, meh, I think I don't think it'll happen to Jordan.
You
But it's
think
good to see
he'll-
low
How
lights, though.
okay? So how long do you think Jordan holds the spot as greatest of all time?
So that's the thing.
100
There is a
100
debate,
years?
and it's
50
getting
years?
close. And I don't. So if you asked, I don't know. Let's say you polled like Family Feud, 100 people who watch the sport, 50 from let's say the 90s, and then 50 from now. I think it'll be 50-50. So I don't think you can say that Jordan is the GOAT because of who you
But that-
ask, right?
But that's the point, right? Like the further along you go, the less people who haven't watched a single Jordan game, but maybe
Yeah.
they caught one TikTok from some dusty dude with 89,000 likes.
But I
And
don't
it's like, yeah, this guy was trash. Like,
But I don't think they'll call him trash, and I don't think it's because of that guy's video.
you got to watch the video. He's calling him trash.
I've seen some of them
Says
when
he
they
has
get
no
on,
left.
on X.
They said Jordan has no left. Disgusting.
The first thing they post is him missing a jump shot. It's like, okay, like what are we talking about here? Yeah, I guess to Steven's point too, not to never let you go speak. It is kind of refreshing to see the down stuff too. It's just from that angle, I didn't agree with his slant.
Yeah. Hugo?
A couple things. So LeBron is in a really unique position because he's that one player that is just gobbling up offensive stats left, right, and center. So if you're looking at it from a statistical standpoint, and this is just straight numbers, I mean, you can make the argument that LeBron is greater than Jordan. Jordan has always greatly benefited from the mythos, right? We've talked about this on this podcast umpteen times. And he's always benefited from the more important, the more fantastical stats as it pertains to his career. I can agree that Jordan's mythos can't last forever because those of us who are continuing to prop it and keep it going are going to die.
We won't last forever. Yeah.
We won't last forever. Talk to, and I'm not going to date myself, but talk to kids who are 10, 15 years younger than us. Their favorite player wasn't Jordan. Their favorite player was Kobe, right? Talk to kids that are 20, 25 years younger than us. Their favorite players are Kawhi,
George.
maybe Paul George. Yeah, all these other individuals. Jordan is just so far removed from them. It just doesn't resonate with them anymore. The beautiful thing about the NBA and some of the people who are true enthusiasts and fans, they will go back and dig into the numbers and realize Jordan's greatness and realize Jordan's place in history. If you want to say LeBron's the king, okay. But again, it still comes down to the number of championships that he's won, what he's been able to do in the playoffs, the superstardom that he had 30 years before LeBron even walked onto a court. For me, I just don't see anybody beating that or matching that. LeBron had the best chance to do it. And we all know, if you don't get to 6, there's just no conversation. And even if he gets to 6, his quality 6 is not the same quality as Jordan's 6. And that's that.
But see, that's what I was saying. You're bringing up like all the good things Jordan has done in 6 rings. And that's what I said. You always hear that. No one ever talks about when he wasn't making it in the downside. So if this guy's posting videos and stuff, I'm glad he's doing it because you never hear that stuff. You're talking about, if LeBron gets 6, it's not the same as Jordan's 6. I'm a Kobe fan, so I've seen when the Lakers had that stretch of just being terrible. They always talk about that. But with Jordan, his fans never, ever talk about bad stretches. It's just 6.
No, but once you win a championship, you're
They'd
going
have a
to
bad
be
stretch.
judged. But you're going to be judged. You win one chip, they're going to say, okay, how many is it going to take you to get 6? And that's that. Right? Doesn't mean you're not a great player. That doesn't mean you're not a legendary player. Jordan is the standard now.
But
right?
There's guys who
Giannis
won more
won
than 6. So what do you mean he's the standard? Why do you got to get to 6? Why can't you get
Can I just jump?
We're not going to go into
real
those
quick?
Celtics 12 championships,
Oh,
whatever.
no,
That
no.
doesn't count.
It
You
doesn't
don't need
count.
Okay.
I think the special thing about Jordan is that from like 1985 to 1998, Jordan had this this run that we've never seen before in NBA history. So when the Chicago Bulls weren't good, technically, like when they weren't making the playoffs, Jordan was ascending at such a rate. Like he was putting up astronomical numbers as a player, as an individual. And then when the Bulls started winning as a team, they were just winning. Like they were just winning titles. He was either winning scoring titles, winning MVPs, or he was winning titles for like a decade. That's the difference between Jordan's run and anyone else's, including LeBron's, including Wilt's, including Bill Russell, include everyone.
LeBron was
And you're forgetting it. The man won the scoring title, MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year all in the same season.
Yes, like because I get what you're saying, Stephen. Like it's good to see both
yeah.
sides, but there is no other side.
See, that's what it is.
There is no other side. The
Oh
other
my
side
God.
is when Jordan came back
All
as
right.
a Wizard. That is the other side.
No.
By the time he came back as a Wizard, people already cemented him as the greatest player of all time. He came back and 40 years old, averaging 20 a game in the NBA. They weren't winning. The Wizards were trash. But at that point, it's like it didn't matter. You know, he had that legendary run already. And yes, of course, you can pull up certain games, certain moments in games where Jordan looked like he was lesser than. But I don't know, man. Like he's an anomaly. Similar to another player that I'll talk about later. I think Mitch probably has the same player in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe's better. Sorry, was I unmuted?
Oh man. All right. Hey, Cam in Henderson,
thanks
Nevada.
a lot, Cam. Way to go.
I have to go back to my old notes to see if Cam was the one.
Oh man, was he?
Was he the one that dropped the question about? Did he rank us? No.
No, that was
wasn't.
Cheryl.
Okay, yeah, that was Cheryl. He dropped
did-
a
he did
question that
one.
was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
contentious. I gotta go back to my notes. Anyway, Cam, you asked some really good questions, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Quick reminder to High and Low Lives, if you want to leave a question for us to answer on episode 200, send your DM to us on TikTok and More High and Low, or on Instagram at Get High and Low. I'll leave those links in the show notes. It's time for us to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're jumping into the fire and answering some burning questions. This is the High and Low Basketball Show.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. I'm Mike Amechi. They are Hugo the Sheik, Mitch Orsatti, and the guest, Stephen Leslie. And this is the High and Low NBA show. There are so many things happening around the league, even at this lulling points in the schedule. Goodness gracious, it gets kind of boring. But hey, for example, there's some really great games on tonight. So of course, you know, when you have so many things happening, it means that we're going to run through some burning questions, like some diced prunes and a cup of coffee on this episode. Yeah. Anyway, without further delay, let's jump into it, gentlemen. First question is from Mitch. Are the Denver Nuggets the prohibitive favorites to win this title now that they've decided to wake up and try?
Quick caveat. I love the Denver Nuggets. Love Nikola Jokic. But I hate flip the switch teams. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, like, you want to preserve and you don't want to burn out in the regular season. But like when you're a team like that, I have to hear all the like Stephen A's and all those clowns be like, well, are they even any good? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, oh, it drives me insane, because obviously they're so good. They're so good. They're absolutely the prohibitive favorites. They always have been. But I really want Boston to make it through the East, which really they should, because I think those two teams are clear-cut favorites, and I think it'd be a great series.
Yeah, but Denver's a favorite.
Denver's a favorite, has to be. They're just like, their execution, especially in the fourth quarter, Stephen can attest to this, is just like it's unmatched. They're just, you go to Jokic and Murray in the two-man game, and how do you stop it?
And then you got MPJ there in the corner, just, you know, he can just give you
shooting 100% or whatever.
100% from the field, man.
Yeah. KCP, same thing. Aaron Gordon lurking for a lob. They're just like, they're extremely hard to stop.
Yeah. You go.
Yes.
How would you rate the Let me see.
Mm-mm.
Slip.
Yeah,
Careful.
Freudian slip.
Careful now.
How would you rate the Clippers' new logo? Better, worse, or the same?
Could you imagine if the Lakers changed their logo? I
Oh
could
my
never imagine it.
That would be-
Yeah,
they tried. They tried with that L.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mm.
They took an
And it
L
was
on
an
the
L.
L. Yeah. See, Steven's laughing because even though we're talking about the Clippers, we're really talking about the Lakers.
Mhm.
That's true.
Listen, I think the logo was nice. It was a good refresh. I think any momentum they would have gotten from this logo is lost when the TikTok video of those kids that snuck into the arena came out. And they have to really start winning. And when I say winning, it's like deep playoff runs with championships, or all of this was for what? Right? Nothing. So yeah, sure. Kudos on the logo. I don't even know if you really had much of a logo beforehand anyway. So most people don't even know a Clipper is a boat. So let's see how far this boat can go.
I find these circle logos so boring. Like every team has this like standard circle logo now.
I think it's from the NBA.
It's standardized branding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they say we're going to set these overall guidelines. Go nuts.
Steven,
Yo,
should the Houston Rockets consider Şengün to be their number one guy and build their future around him,
As opposed to
as opposed to the rest?
the rest.
Mm.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but I've liked Şengün since he was in the summer league. But I don't think he could be their number one for that city. So he needs to get to like a top Western Conference team later on in his career, and then they'll just make him flourish.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
So it's a
Any
Houston
suggestions?
problem.
Yeah, that's that market, everything around it. He just can't be him as a number one. They like the flashy,
I know what you're saying.
They got
You're
those
saying what
guys
you're
that
not saying.
they got those guys that like. I don't say
Jalen
it,
Green should be the number one.
but they were
Is
like,
that what you're saying?
yeah, I was gonna say something offside, but all right, I won't. I don't know. Like, I don't want to
Green,
see him
Jabari
have like
Smith.
a Luka type career where it's just numbers and he's just in Houston, and then nothing comes out of it. I could see him, Lakers. That'd be good. Later on.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, big men.
Just a quick.
We always get big
stop,
men.
Lakers.
All right, you guys, what's next?
Mitch, back to you. Back to you.
Back to me.
Amidst rumors of the WNBA expanding north of the border, would basketball fans show up for WNBA games in Toronto?
1,000,000% for sure. There's tons of support already here for it. Women's basketball is huge here, and Toronto's been clamoring for it. I think it would be a huge boon for the WNBA, would allow their profile to grow. And would we see some of the I got to travel to Canada, blah blah blah? I think we're already seeing that. Like, I saw a couple tweets that were like, "Well, are we going to charter plane? Are we going to charter planes? Because we have to take buses places." But anyways, I think it would do really well initially. Would there be sustained support? I think that's the question. I want to say yes. I hope yes, but remains to be seen.
So you go.
Mm-hmm.
What team are you most surprised to see in the top half of the East at this point? Who's hanging around? And you're just like, what? You're still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
No, I mean meaning the
Oh,
team.
sorry. I thought it was on mute for a second. I was like, yeah, wait, I'm
In
here.
the first 2 seconds.
No. Okay, so I got a tie here. I'm gonna say Cleveland Cavaliers and the Orlando Magic. I really thought the Orlando Magic was just gonna drop out of sight, but somehow those young boys have caught a second wind. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers, 40-22, could have fooled me.
They were scuffling early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but could have fooled me. They're third in the East. That's surprising without a LeBron James on that team either. So
What?
let's see what happens. But, I mean, Cleveland's
And reaching back.
but Cleveland's success was only when LeBron James was there. So I mean, to see him third in the East, like with no LeBron James, that's amazing.
One funny tweet I saw about the Magic, a beat writer for that team was like, "Wow, it's March and I don't know who any of the players in the draft are." And it's like, oh, because the Magic have been so bad for so long.
goodness gracious. That's a
Wow.
good one.
Yeah, and Detroit and Washington is fighting for that.
Yeah,
bottom.
the no surprise team.
Yeah. Are they really fighting?
9 wins, man. 9 wins each.
Yeah. Are they really fighting, though?
They are fighting. There's like, who can be worse? Jordan Poole is
Poor guy.
Back to the bench now.
having.
Back to the bench, doing much better coming off the bench.
Really? Oh,
Hey.
poor
Yes,
guy.
yeah, he's had a good stretch.
Speaking of
Listen,
bench,
Did
you see
he's the
the
new Jordan
clip?
Clarkson?
do you see the clip of him losing the ball on the ground? He's
Yes.
on his
And
ass
shooting.
and he wanted to shoot it. So
Everybody on the bench with their hands on their heads. like,
yes.
"No."
Yeah.
So at first I saw it on Twitter and everyone's like, look at him, he's gonna shoot it. Then later on at night, I saw the actual clip with audio. The broadcasters were like, he wants to shoot the ball. I was like, this is bad, man.
Yeah, but you can't have that kind of money and come off the bench, though.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. You
What?
should. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. We talked about this with Dame, and Steven and I talked about this. Like, the money does matter to a degree, but if you're on a team that bad, I don't think it matters.
Man, this is why you'd be a GM. You pay someone and be like, yo, you gotta
Whoa.
start.
No. But you traded for this guy. He's
So-
supposed to be your centerpiece, and you're bringing him off the bench?
It doesn't
Well,
matter.
then you make adjustments. You
Yeah.
say, well, you're not my centerpiece, so you can.
And also, you can have a second unit centerpiece too. Both things are important. Benches are important. Starting units are important. Guys who come off the bench don't have to play bench minutes.
And you can make a mistake. It was just a mistake.
True.
They had to get rid of CP3, whatever, but they made a mistake. He's not who anyone thought he was.
He's not who King thought he was.
Pool. Pool won a chip, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you won a
somewhere.
chip, you got your
Yeah,
money,
He'll have that.
you're solid. Don't need nothing else.
Baddies, money, ring. Done.
That's
Jordan
it.
Poole effect. The Jordan Poole effect was real, though. I'm gonna have to say that was an
Oh,
amazing run.
Okay,
With,
I have a quick question for you guys. Would you rather Jordan Poole effect or Linsanity run?
Insanity.
Insanity.
Run.
1,000%.
That.
Thought he got very
1,000%.
Chinese. Huh?
Oh,
He's Taiwanese.
Oh,
Taiwanese.
wow.
Wow. People in Taiwan right now are just going.
cut that.
Holy Border Patrol, man. Jeez.
Ooh,
Oof.
wow.
Jeez.
Thank you for asking that question, Stephen. That was priceless
Reckless.
stuff right there.
Okay, well, here's a question for you, Steven. Let's go to the West. Your favorite part of the NBA. What team are you most surprised to see in the top half of the West at this point in the season?
So before we started this, I had Minnesota Timberwolves, and I wrote up a whole thing, and I have to scrap that because I saw them play some of the best 6 minutes of NBA I've seen in a long time. So I'm going back down to the Clippers. Self-explanatory.
Really?
I've said this forever. They're high, I guess, mid-ish, like fourth. Mitch called this. I just don't
Called it
think.
exactly, actually. 4th
Yeah.
and 10th.
Yeah, I just don't think they're that good to be at the top when it counts. They do have some solid Hall of Fame players on their team, but you're starting to see it crumble a little bit. So, yeah,
I think to what Hugo said earlier, right? Like, they got to show that they can win when it matters. All this regular season stuff, we've seen it.
yeah,
We've seen it for a long time.
yeah. There's like only one person I trust on that team. And I don't trust their big. He got benched the other night, and I was like laughing, like, okay,
Zubats?
yeah. I was like,
Oh,
you
I
wait
didn't see that.
till this happens in the regular season. It was actually benched against Houston, and that's how they came back and won.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's trouble.
So yeah, Clippers. Sorry for even mentioning Minnesota. You guys are solid. Although Cat
good.
is hurt though. Cat hurt his knee.
I know.
Meniscus, I believe, out
Yeah,
multiple
out
weeks.
indefinitely.
So yeah.
It's all good.
That's going to be a problem in the West.
Yeah.
Because their whole thing is that 2-tower thing, right?
But Anthony Edwards is, oh my God.
He's
different
so
beast.
good. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to watch him for a long time.
Yeah. He needs to come over to LA Lakers.
Come on.
That's the second. So you got Şengün and
Anthony Edwards.
We could do that combo, eh? We like that.
That'll work.
I do like that.
No defense between the two of them sometimes.
Who
but,
plays defense in his league anymore?
People try.
What did Gilbert
It's
Arenas
hard.
tell you? Europeans don't play defense.
I don't listen to that clown.
All right, you guys, what's next?
I got a couple more questions. 2 more questions for the group. So first question is, who are the top 5 players on your MVP ladder?
Are we going 5-1 or 1-5?
Go 5-1. 5-1.
All right. 5. I got Embiid.
Still?
Yeah.
Really? Like the guy
I don't
hasn't
even
played
think
for
he's
how long?
He's not
I
eligible.
don't think he's eligible.
Damn. Mitch got me. That's crazy. 4, I got Jason Tatum. 3, I got Shai.
Who the hell is that?
2, I got Anthony Edwards. And 1, I got Jokic.
Ooh.
Did you say
Oh, Giannis,
Anthony
yeah.
Edwards?
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't be 1 in the West and in that gauntlet and not be top 5.
Okay. Nice.
All right, I'll go next. At 5, I have Domantas Sabonis. At 4, I got Luka. At 3, I got Giannis. At 2, I got Shea. And at 1, I got Jokic. But I think that Jokic and Shea race is going to be close. Shea's having a crazy good year.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think it's
Incredible.
Jokic.
So no Tatum.
No, man. I don't have Tatum there. I think
got-
that's like I think they're just a super, super great team. I think if you take, so my long held opinion on MVP is most valuable player to the team. I think if you sit Tatum, I think Boston's still good. I think if you sit Jokic, Denver's not very good anymore.
Damn. Sabonis?
Sabonis is having an incredible year, man. 2014 and 8.
But they're like... They're
35
so low.
and 26,
They're
35, 25 or something
7th
like that.
in the West?
That's why I got him at 5th.
Damn.
I don't have him at first. Relax.
Mm.
But above
winning.
Tatum. Okay.
Yeah. And no Anthony Edwards. Sabonis just
Nah.
out here. All right.
Yeah, for real. I got Wemby at 6. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Wemby. Oh my God.
All right. Now for you go to mess it all up.
Yay! Let's
Klay
go.
Thompson.
No. I got because I'm not really good at these things. So I got Tatum at 5. I'll give him some roots of some
This
flowers.
is a fair spot.
I'm gonna struggle with this one now.
You're making it up on the spot.
No, well, sort of, kind of. You know what? I saw Luka against the Raptors the other day, and I want to give him some props, but his team is awful. So I'll put him in number 4 just because I'm thinking of this on the fly. Then I have Shea, Giannis, and Jokic. Yeah, I give Giannis his props. He's holding that team together.
If Shea wins MVP, could he be considered greatest Canadian of all time?
He's right there. I don't think he has to win another MVP to supplant Nash, but he's pretty much there if he's not there already.
Yeah, I guess. Well, we could call him true Canadian because Nash is kind of South African.
MVPs? I don't know, man. He has to win the ring.
Well, Nash doesn't have a ring.
Yeah, I know.
Jamal Murray has a ring.
He's not there.
Damn, I don't know. I keep telling you, Jamal Murray plays
I
like
love Murray.
Kobe and Shaq when they play LA. So it's dumb. And I keep seeing those games, and I'm like, okay, how is this guy not the best Canadian player? Like, you know how you guys said the TikTokers is putting things together? If one of you guys put a highlight reel of Denver versus Lakers, and it's just Jamal Murray's numbers, it's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You would
greatest duo of all
think
time,
he's the
it shows us.
Yeah.
So this guy is incredible. Best player ever to touch a basketball.
Western
I think
Conference
Jamal
Finals,
can get-
30 and 15 if he
Yeah.
wants. Like,
I
everything's
think if
going in.
Waxed
Jamal didn't get
Lakers,
hurt,
holy.
if Jamal didn't get hurt, I think that argument's a lot stronger.
Jamal
Right?
McGlure?
Murray.
Oh,
Murray.
Murray.
When he
Oh,
hurt
I
his,
wonder though, like we talk about it with Clay a lot. I wonder if you separate Murray from Jokic, what Murray's career looks
What
like
happens?
knowledge-wise.
Well, you don't do that.
No,
I think he
gosh.
puts up stupid numbers if he's not
Yeah,
playing with Nikola Jokic because he's always been a
probably right.
scorer.
yeah.
Who's the greatest of all GOATs across all sports?
I'd really love to hear what Steven has to say on this one. Actually,
Oh my gosh. Tough. Okay, because I could say Lewis Hamilton for Formula One because every athlete is like dual. or triple in the States wise. Like they can play basketball, they can play football, they can play baseball. So you can run it those ways. And then Europeans, they can play soccer or their football. Sometimes they can play rugby, and then they're great at basketball. With Lewis Hamilton, none of those guys I mentioned, or sorry, none of those guys in those sports can drive a Formula One car, can drive a go kart like he did. And he's
Can Lewis Hamilton ball though?
He can do the
Luke?
soccer, but not like at a great level. But ball, I think I did see him at a Celebrity All-Star game. I think I have to research that. So yes, but not at a great level. But none of those guys can drive a Formula One car because they're too big, too heavy. They don't have the neck strength, the G-force, all that stuff. So I think that's the route I'm gonna go in. Just because every other athlete can like do other things, but they can't drive an F1 car, and that is a fact.
Interesting way to look at it.
Because there is a small number of men and women in the world that can do that.
Okay. All right.
Interesting choice. I mean, we could argue this a bunch of ways, but in my personal opinion, there's only one person. And unfortunately, he had a bit of a fall of grace, but when he was at the top of his game, he influenced everything, and that was Tiger Woods. He got black people to watch golf. When he was golfing, everybody made money. When he stopped golfing, he was ranked number 1 for more than 2 years, not playing because he had that many points above everybody else. He made golf fun. He made golf dramatic. He made golf interesting. The fact that he was, we'll call him black, but he's really biracial. But the fact that, he was entering a sport that was dominated and only meant for the, I'll frame it, the white elites. And he came in and just destroyed everyone. You had athletes who enjoyed golf and enjoyed the nuances of golf want to spend time with them and golf with him. Red shirt Sundays. Nike made billions upon billions off of this guy. He was the first legitimate $500 million, $1 billion athlete off of endorsements and earnings. He set the bar so high for athletes that I don't know if anybody can get even anywhere close to that. Maybe LeBron James, but not Hamilton, not Messi, not McDavid or Gretzky or any of these other guys. Like it's Tiger Woods.
Hamilton owns an NFL team. Chill.
Listen, Tiger could own 2 NFL teams if he wanted to.
Yeah, but he doesn't. So continue.
Just saying, to me, it's Tiger. Just the impact that he had on the culture, the impact that he's had on the sport, the fact that he is the MVP of that sport. Like, if he's not at the Masters, nobody watches. If he's at the Masters and he's losing, people are watching. If he's at the Masters and in contention on Sunday, everybody's happy because everybody knows they're making a lot of money that day. You don't see that in any other sport.
I don't know if making a bunch of money is the way to go for greatest of all time, but I think you had some good points there. I think Tiger's like probably my number 3, maybe 2.
All right, Mitch, let's hear yours.
I think it's always nice. Great question, by the way. Always nice when we get to talk about other sports on this podcast because it's not Mike, it's not LeBron. I don't think it's Lewis Hamilton. I don't think it's Tiger. It's 1,000% Wayne Gretzky, man. Has to be. Has to be. Holy shit. Sorry.
That's the only right answer.
He holds like 60 records and he retired 26 years ago and he still holds them.
Who's that?
He has Wayne Gretzky. He has like 1,000 more points than the second most points player below him, Jaromir Jagr. If you took away all of Wayne Gretzky's goals, he'd still have more total points than the second most player by like 50 more points. How many other hockey players wear the number 99? 0.
They wouldn't dare.
They wouldn't dare because it is reserved for the greatest of all time. There's no touching Gretzky here. He's so far and above every other hockey player, period. And he holds so many records that there's just like, I don't think there's nobody close. Like when you talk about Tiger, you think about Jack Nicklaus. When you talk about Lewis Hamilton, you think about Schumacher.
No,
When you think about Wayne Gretzky, you don't think about any other hockey player. It's not even close.
It's crazy.
I
Hockey.
agree.
Okay, so
Mitch. Sorry, Steven wanted to change his answer to Gretzky. Is that what you said?
No, Patrick Mahomes. Because
After all that,
yeah, because I realized it.
After all that.
If we're gonna talk about what he's done since he started, well, Mahomes is just starting, and 6 AFC Championship games, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 3 wins, multiple MVPs, and he just started 7 years ago.
already behind Gretzky. Already
Behind.
Hello,
already way behind.
in a game that's more physical, and everyone's after you to kill you. And
Not
he's
by,
the,
no.
Are you kidding me?
This guy's.
What do you mean?
The
What do you
NHL
mean by killing you?
This guy's never watched an NHL
I've
game in
never watched
his life,
an NHL game, bro.
I've been a couple.
especially back
The
then.
NHL used to have to bring in players
there we go.
to protect guys like him. Marty McSorley. I want you to just look up Marty McSorley for me.
No.
I was like, oh, you're gonna run at Gretzky? I'm gonna throw my stick at your face. That's what used to happen in the NHL.
Mans are trying to kill people in the
Yes.
NFL.
That is what Marty McSorley did. He took his stick and he swung it at a person's head for Gretzky.
And
That was
this
his
is-
whole job to
Oh, so
protect.
he
Wayne
had a
Gretzky.
defender defending him like that.
I can't shoot 3-point shots.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of High and Low. Remember to subscribe to the. Actually, wait, hold on. Whoa. Thank you, Hugo. Thank you, Steven. And thank you, Mitch. Oh man, I'm trying to sprint out the door. Remember to subscribe to High and Low anywhere you find podcasts and make us a part of your weekly routine. All the way up to 200. Anyway.
The laughter.
We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we're on X and YouTube. Links to those are always in the show notes. And once again, music is by Live of the Enjoy Music Group. That's the music you listen to right now. And you can find Live on X and on Instagram at LYVE. Additional music is by Sonny Rockwell of The Goodness. You can't find that guy anywhere. And sound design is by Vonn August. This is a Vonn+Abrahamm podcast, just in case you didn't know. So on behalf of Steven, on behalf of Mitch, and on behalf of Hugo the Sheik, I'm Ike Amechi. Thank you for listening to High and Low, and we'll talk to you next week.
Hey, how do you contact the internet?
well.
Happy spring break, everyone.